It's the Gauntlet. Let's go.
If you smell what the Gauntlet is cooking.
Yo, 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 guess who it is? It's your boy Denzel Sneezy. Friday Night Lights, let's go. I know it's a Final Four weekend and everything, but hey, there's never, ever, ever, ever a bad time to talk about some NFL football. And of course, your favorite sportsman on the week, your favorite player of the week, and of course, your favorite non-sports topic. Once again, it's Denzel Snipes. This is the Gauntlet. And joining me, we got shout out to JT. Go ahead and get well, man. I know you had a bad lunch and that can't have them termites tear up your insides like that. You know what I'm saying? But needs back healthy, baby. You know what I'm saying? One's running a little late. We're gonna have a plus one a little bit later on, hopefully. But for now, I do have my alpha here, my partner in crime. He shows up in a different jersey like John Cena did back in the day. And and he's just as witty as him. Come on in, Dom DeRubis. Detroit Dom, what's up, dude?
Yo. Black Charles Barkley, 93 finals.
Oh, yeah.
One of the main reasons that I hate Michael Jordan. Like, all them other cats that he stopped from getting a ring, I'm cool with it. Man, you got to give one to Sir Charles.
Yeah. You know what's sad, too, is I think it was Shannon Sharp that was saying, like, hey, you might get it next year, man. And Charles Barkley, it was somebody that talked to him after the finals lost. And he was like, hey, man, you won MVP and everything. Y'all got a great squad. Y'all will get it next year. And I think Charles, told him, I think that was it. I think that was my shot right there.
Yep. That finals was when, because all that stuff, probably best season of his career. And that's when Chuck was like, that finals was when I realized how much better than me that Michael Jordan was.
Yep. Even just the team in general. Crazy part is the dagger wasn't even Jordan. It was Paxson.
Mm-hmm.
One of the early assassins of our time, But go ahead and get us started here. And just a reminder that we are on Sideline Sports Network. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, which is probably watching us on that right now. And if you are, definitely hit the like button for this episode, but also hit the subscribe button to Sideline Sports, because you just saw a smorgasbord of shows on the intro video, right? So tune into all of the great shows that we have in store. And now it is time for your favorite, my favorite, all of our favorite. Hold on, let me bring it up here. I'm tripping. I'm already thinking about that cognac I'm going to drink after this show. And tequila Dom's going to drink after the show. Sports Moron of the Week. So, those of y'all who are brand new to the house, right? Sports Moron of the Week, and we're on season 3, and this is going on to infinity. This opens up the program. We highlight the most egregious takes from any sports pundit, any analyst, any sports writer, any athlete, any team, any owner, anybody in sports. And shout out to Tyler Ingram, our boy, our horseman, man. He's doing the girl dad thing. Appreciate the love coming on for Confidential, and we look forward to having you back for another episode. But I know he got something, So go ahead.
Are you guys kidding me? Are you guys kidding me?
That never doesn't make me laugh. I can't ever seem to remember what we said that made him say that. But not to be too Lamar Jackson centric again, but I have to. My Sports Morons, plural, of the week goes out to all those Lions fans, some of whom I somewhat respected generally for their sports takes, but all them Lions fans that were on Lamar Jackson's bumper. Thank you, general manager, the villain Brad Holmes, for finally coming out and dispelling that rumor. But This is for any of those Lions fans that said we should trade for Lamar. We're going to trade for Lamar. And now the narrative has switched to we should have traded for Lamar. All of those things are terrible. So those Lions fans, you are the sports morons. And there's a lot of you.
Mine's real short as well. I'm going to go ahead and give a very, very special sports moron to the New York Jets organization. Congratulations on having the longest playoff drought in American sports currently. 12 seasons since you've seen the postseason. Now I want you all to, this is a bit of a context here, okay? Because for so long it was about the Lions, right? You might be bad, but you're not the Lions. Or you might be bad, but you're not the Texans. Or you might be bad, but you're not, whichever team you, but the Jets, it's been 12. Their last quarterback, the last time they made the postseason, was Mr. Ass Fumble himself. And then on top of that, you had the Tebow debacle. Geno Smith gets a turn in New York. And then it was just they had an 8-8 season or two in there. I know Geno's rookie season, they did go 8-8, which was prior to last season, his most successful season. And with the Jets at that. As many coaches they've been through, their last, remotely successful coach there was Rex Ryan. But yeah, here's to the New York Jets, currently the other New York team, because until further notice, until number 12 dons the jersey, and that's even if he does a halfway decent job, New York City and probably most of Jersey is all blue. And with that being said, bring my dog back up in here and let's go ahead and get it started. So like with the Lions fans, you see, this is where you got to come in, man. Because you and Smoke and Jeremy B are like the greatest Lion fans we know currently, right? So it's got to be on y'all to check your audience, to check your teams, because it's like you went 9-8. You're expected to do great things next year. You got an awesome head coach. Don't get ahead of yourself. You want Lamar Jackson, but I think that you're great with the core that you have in place. Goff played lights out. This is just my opinion, but I think last season was his best season since his Super Bowl year.
It was.
Don't fix what
that 10-game stretch at the end of the year was probably the best 10 games of his career. Yeah. 10 games, 8-2, 0 turnovers, no fumbles with his baby hands, and no picks.
Yeah. And you got to think. I know people are saying like, okay, like Lion fans might say, listen, man, I don't think Goff can get it done. We need a quarterback that's going to, take us to the Super Bowl and win us the big one. First and foremost, you need to win a playoff game, because how long has it been since that happened?
Thank you. To all the people saying that, let's make the playoffs and win a game for the first time since I was 11. I'm 42.
Yeah, let's win the division for the first time since that same time frame. You know what I mean? I get it. You want to win the big one, but hey, baby steps. You got to crawl before you can walk. You know what I'm saying? So, it just is what it is. Don't get me wrong. Great season last season. Dom, you still owe me a chain. You better find it. But let's not get like ahead of yourself. Oh, he done found it. I bet you he did. I bet. What's in that box? What's in that black box, boy? Pull it out. Pull it up. Please kill you. Pull it out. Yes, sir. I'm shooting you the ad you right after we go off the air. I believed in you. I knew you could find it. You try to pull that.
I don't even remember what the bet was.
You try to pull that my dog ate it excuse, but I wouldn't go for it. Now, remember, it was the middle of the season, and the Lions had just gotten a big win. And I was like, I bet you the Lions finish with 8 wins. He was like, we're not getting 8 wins. And then they go 9. They would have had 10 in the playoffs if they hadn't let Carolina run all over you.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Thank God I wasn't at that game. I'd probably still be in jail.
Because I was so sure I was going to lock up the bet that day. I looked at this. I said, whoo, Carolina? Yeah, I'm going to get my chain today. Had to wait another week. I was like, man. but yo, we going to keep it moving, man. Let's get to some of these comments real quick because, you know what I mean? Like my cats. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Let's get it. First of all, Bacon and eggs, Bacon Grizzly. What's good with you, man? RP to JJ. What happened to him? What's good? Let's see here. Feel it, Jim. But yep, we know. We know. We got the phone call. Got to work out the worms in your stomach. Let's see here. Yeah, we definitely are getting to that. We most definitely are getting to that in this program. Let's get to some of these other comments here. Oh, this was for you here, Dom.
Oh boy.
I clicked it. There it is. Not saying Goff is the Lions' future or anything, but he for damn sure earned a job for at least another season. Spot on.
Probably 2.
Yeah.
He's done everything I've asked from him in his 2 seasons.
Yes. Yeah.
I think 4,000 yards in a fully healthy season, 65% completion percentage, cut down on the fumbles.
Yeah.
Like you said, baby steps. Yeah. And the other thing is, this rebuild is not complete. If we're trying to get to the next level, we need more talent that starts. You can't go quarterback at 6 or 18 because you need talent that's going to play. I don't care if CJ Stroud or Bryce Young drop to 6. I'm still not drafting them.
Right. No, I totally agree. And you look at it like this. This is why I like y'all's chances. And I'm not trying to play prisoner of the moment or anything like that. But, this to me is less about what the Lions have and looking at everyone else as far as the division. The Packers are going to be in rebuild. They're losing Rodgers, and we're going to get to that in just a little bit, okay? So there's that. The Vikings, I can somehow see falling off a cliff. They probably win 6 games next year.
Somewhere in there. I promise you they don't win. Well, they win 13 games last year?
12, yeah. 12 games.
They also used up 25 years worth of smoke and mirrors in one season.
Yeah, pretty much.
A negative point differential. Plus, Kirk Cousins is, reverse Dracula. Can't go out at night.
And didn't they set the record for the most one-score victories?
That
or
too.
Something like that? Yeah. I mean, like, they was a 12-win team, but they were a barely 12-win team, Coulda, woulda, shoulda. It could have been 8 wins. It could have been 6, But, I see them fall. And then the Bears are the Bears.
They crowned themselves Super Bowl champs in March. I'm like, oh, look at that. A crappy team with a bunch of free agent money, signed a bunch of guys. Yeah. Listen, if you're watching Bears fans, go ahead and hang you some drywall, lay you some carpet, maybe even add an extra half bath. Get comfortable in that basement.
Yeah, absolutely. But want to take a quick commercial break. And when we return, we will have our player of the week. Time to pay some bills.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Sponsored by the one and only Fanatics, and we also still got Yeti on the team too. But hey, listen, more of that to come. So we are back, and now it is time for our, speaking of Bears, our player of the week, and that is running back Gale Sayers, Bears Hall of Famer, 5-time All-Pro. He was known as the Kansas Comet. So this man he went to college. He went to college and played football at the University of Kansas. He was a 4th overall pick in the 1965 NFL draft and the 5th overall pick in the 1965 AFL draft. He played for the Bears the entirety of his career. Let's see here. He won NFL Comeback Player of the Year in 1969. He was NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year in 1965. A 5-team All-Pro, a 5-time First-Team All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler. He got 2 rushing titles. He has a scoring title, NFL scoring leader. He won the George Halas Award. He's on the 60s All-Decade team. He's on the 50th, 75th, and 100th anniversary all-time team. He Chicago Bears number 40 retired. I have his throwback sitting in my closet right now. He's one of the 100 greatest Bears of all time. In college, he was a 2-time consensus All-American, a 3-time All-Big 8. Kansas Jayhawks number 48 retired. Dom, I'd love to see you score that jersey. Also, NFL records, most touchdowns in a rookie season, 22, and most all-purpose touchdowns in a single game, 6, tied with Ernie Nevers and Alvin Kamara. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the College Football Hall of Fame. This is why the 60s will be one of my favorite running back eras, because you got to think about it like this. He put up these kind of numbers, and Jim Brown was still in the league. You know what I'm saying? So for a guy like that, and he wasn't even really of a tier. What was he about? Oh, yeah, he wasn't even a real big guy.
Under 200 pounds.
Yeah, 6 feet, 198. Now, actually, keep in mind that this was the 1960s. 198 was considered like a huge guy. You know,
it's like the like the 220 of that era.
It was the 220 of that era. You know what I mean?
Which is prototypical size nowadays, if you ask me.
It is. I would say the prototypical NFL running back size.
It's
as far as a mid, like small back is somewhere between, like, you figure 195 to like 210, right? And because, like, okay, McCaffrey's 205, 210. Then you got 215 to 225. That's your mid size. That's your, I got the speed and I'm not scared of contact. I might not run you over. 230 and above, you're a trucker. You know what I mean? And look who's in here. Some guy named Mr. Joseph. What's up, boy? Where you been at?
Oh, what's up, everybody? Yes, I'm Mr. Joseph. I thought I'd hit you guys with my name at work. That's what my customers call me, Mr. Joseph.
Okay, all right, then cool. It's like
Mr. Joseph.
I was like, is that like the Black Matrix, Mr. Anderson?
So the funny thing about work is, you ever been that employee that when you want to try to get a break to get away, you can't, because every person that comes in just has to work with you?
Yeah, you're the go-to guy. It's like, man, I can't even get a break. You go get no water or nothing, because you go to ward and then somebody call you like your supervisor, some customer.
We ordered breakfast and we were supposed to pick it up at like 9:30. I didn't get a chance to pick it up till 10 o'clock, because as soon as I was about to get out, the next person came in, and I knew, I was like, all right, I got to stay for this.
Oh, no.
Speaking of which, and Dom, I know you saw it, and I'm going to put this on the air right now. So anyone who has this man on Facebook and saw that post about the sausage, egg, and ketchup, we're going to go ahead and make a PSA right now that we ain't responsible for his ridiculousness, because I don't condone it. Dom, you eat ketchup on that?
I do not. I will have to say, it's been a long time, but when I was like, I did put ketchup on my eggs.
So I will be very clear. I'm going to be very honest with you. Everybody, I own that. Okay, I am very much the ketchup person. I put ketchup on my steak, sausage, egg, and cheese. I put ketchup on my burger. I put ketchup on pretty much, if I could put it on there, I can put it on there.
Burger, yes.
I'm not gonna totally fry you for that. I'm just not really a
cheesesteak, yes. Shrimp, yes. Fish, yes.
What?
Yes.
Man, with fried shrimp, that slaps. But hang on, we do have to get to our player of the week.
Sorry, guys.
But also but no, he's just in time. That is the pundit himself. Jacob Christner, ladies and gentlemen.
Did I just see him say that he puts ketchup on steak?
Yes, he. Well, actually, he said cheesesteak, which is still a crime. Which is still a crime.
Maybe.
Actually, hold on. I meant to. So let me rephrase, because I meant cheesesteak, because I don't really care for steak.
It's still horrible.
I don't eat steak. I don't really eat steak like that.
Okay,
unless beef is ground,
I don't
ketchup.
Eat bacon. I don't eat bacon. Sorry.
I'm gonna have Biden. I'm gonna have Biden trump up charges on you and get you arrested.
That's crazy. But hey, listen, Jacob, thanks for coming to the show, man. I know it was a little bit last minute, but actually, since you're the resident Bears fan, we're gonna have you go first, because our player of the week is running back Gale Sayers, Bears Hall of Famer, 5-time All-Pro. We're gonna go ahead and go reverse clockwise. Jake, take it away. Your thoughts on running back Gale Sayers?
Oh my Lord! Just think about this for 1 second. He came in the same draft class as Dick Butkus. He was 32. But anyway, he came in the same. He came in that same draft class, and then he only gets 6 years.
Yes,
he did all that. He only gets 6 years. So just thinking about this for 1 second, he could have brought in Peyton.
Right.
He could have just he could have with that because remember he already had a knee injury. But if he stays longer, he could have brought Peyton in.
Yeah.
So you get to those. But you know what he was? He was what we see now. What we saw with Peyton, but what we see now in the NFL. He was everything. You know, he was the short range receiver. He was the blocker. He was everything. He's basically a Kyle Shanahan wet dream.
Yeah.
He did
pretty
every
much
little detail. But see, the thing was, he was the Kansas Comet. So it
Yes.
wasn't like
he must have been.
Comet. Go ahead.
He must have been underutilized as a receiver his last 3 healthy years. His first 2 years receiving 507, 447, then 126, 117, 116. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah.
Jacob, quick question. Yeah. Would you say he was Debo before Debo?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, here's the thing: Debo without a gym.
Okay, that's fair.
Debo without a gym. Everybody in that does that kind of stuff. Debo without a gym. It's like you got to realize Walter Payton. We bring in Walter Payton, and you definitely would be Debo. But you bring that guy. That guy was 40 years beyond his prime. You know what I'm saying? He was well. I'm just saying. He was well past the thing. I mean, as far as his physique, as far as everything right there, no one had physiques like that.
True.
No one had physiques like that, and he would belong. I mean, he was one of the rare 80s guys that belong now. Gale Sayers, he'd have to go to the gym. But other than that, I mean, just the way he moved, he was like a dancer.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, before you came on, I was telling Dom, I was like, you think, because you brought up a great point. He did all of this in just 6 years and in the same era, same league as Jim Brown.
Yeah. Well, see.
And part of the hallowed ground, 5 yards of carry lifetime.
Yep. You talking about Jim Brown?
That's Barry, Jim Brown, Jamal Charles, who doesn't count, and currently Nick Chubb. And that's it.
Nice.
Currently who?
Nick Chubb.
Yeah. And Nick Chubb definitely counts.
Yeah, absolutely. But finish up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, the biggest thing about it is this is just all of that having Dick Butkus and Gale Sayers in your same draft class and never making the playoffs.
Yeah,
that just tells you what the franchise is.
Well, let's be real.
Don't build around. That you don't build around.
Let's be real. I mean, at that time, the team that was running it up in that area is right in front of me above. That's Detroit with Indianapolis, the Baltimore Colts. They in Cleveland, they ran it. And then you had the Packers with Bart Starr and them. They ran it.
Well, you bring up a good point with the Packers. The biggest thing about the Packers, though, was the fact that they, at the time that those guys were around, they were winning championships.
Yeah.
Because they had the defenders on the other side to kind of match with him, with like the Henry Jordans and the Lem Barneys and all that stuff. They had the players. I mean, not Harold Allery or Willie Brown. They had the players and stuff. Gale Sayers was the first person I drafted in my all NBA, and shout out to Tom Kramer, David Cortez, and all the other boys. NFL and the NFL all-time draft we do. I was about to get to that, but I want to shout them out because we do the NFL draft once a year where we draft like anyone from back in the 20s with Red Grange to now. And then the first running back I drafted was Gale Sayers. And because he was the ability to do everything, I would say he was Deion before Deion, except for he didn't play defense because he did every single thing.
I'm just imagining what Gale Sayers would have been like if he was a Green Bay Packer with that power sweep. With that power sweep and all those blockers. I mean, they had to have run 8 yards of carry. They had to have. I mean, and it's like, this is like 4 different guys going besides the quarterback. It's like, just imagine if it's Gale, if he would, Lombardi would have used Gale Sayers all day. I mean, that would have just been, it's just been, because it's that power sweep. It's just like, he had like basically one play. Even John Madden said that he had one play and he talked about it for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And it was at some seminar. And that's like that. I mean, that was just one play, and that made Madden say, "Well, I got to learn because I don't know anything."
Yeah, absolutely.
But the thing about the biggest thing that I can think about is I know what you guys were saying about Baltimore, about Green Bay, Detroit, those guys, but really, I really believe overall that the Bears were. I mean, I always say that the Bears live well past their time when it comes to their tradition, which I hope they get rid of that so they can get a dome. But they were doing that even then because everybody got to remember at the times they got a quote unquote new coach with Lombardi. The Green Bay did. Baltimore had kind of a they with the Johnny Unitas they kind of had a state of the art system with passing.
Right.
Yeah, it goes on, and the Bears kept getting.
You never had a quarterback.
Yeah, they never. Oh yeah, I know.
Outside of Luckman.
I'll say Luckman was at that time.
At 42, 1942, that makes our point.
Jared Goff last year would be your franchise best quarterback ever.
Who would?
Sayers on. Goff last year had better numbers than quarterbacks ever. Your best quarterback, it's Jay Cutler. But quick things about Sayers. Youngest player ever inducted into the Hall of Fame, 34 years old. One of 4 players in the Hall of Fame with 0 postseason games. And much like a certain GOAT number 20, also born in Wichita, Kansas. A former home of mine.
Yep. That's
okay.
cool.
JJ,
I didn't know until today. I didn't know he was born in Wichita.
I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Did I hurt your feelings with the steak?
Huh?
Did I hurt your feelings?
He hurt all of his own.
Child, I don't give a crap what y'all think.
He did say cheesesteak, not steak.
Yeah, he did say cheesesteak. He's
that's still a crime, but we have fun with it.
I know, right? But hey,
which in some ways is more offensive. But anyways,
well, we're gonna move on to our next topic, and that is the obvious elephant in the NFL room right now, and that is Lamar Jackson tweeted that he requested a trade from the Ravens as of March the 2nd. To half the population out there, it probably will come as no surprise. To others, they're going to feel like, oh, what the hell are you doing? This is your franchise quarterback. This is the best shot you have at winning anything even resembling close to a Super Bowl. And they're just wondering what's going on with the front office right now. I know we brought it up, several times on the show. But this one now, like, it's official that he's requesting a trade. So I want to swing it to our resident Ravens fan, JJ, on your thoughts on this whole situation.
So there's a lot to unpack. I first want to literally disqualify the notion that this team will not win anything if he leaves. Because number one, that would be the most foolish thing if he doesn't make or break the team. That is more so fans' emotional investment in this player. Because at the end of the day, this team is not going to turn into a team of futility like Cleveland had been for years and years to come. So that's number one. Number two, the more I think about this, I do understand and agree what Adrian Smith said on my post when I first debuted the news about this. And I'll take it back to something I've experienced myself through my career at Wells Fargo. I had a coworker who was a service manager, and she was trying to apply to become a branch manager and get a higher pay raise. She gave her contract negotiations, her salary requirements. Wells Fargo wasn't meeting it. They weren't doing it. They were saying, no, we're going to give you this. They will give you a different offer. She went to apply and got a job at PNC and got the money that she was looking for and told Wells Fargo, I'm leaving or unless you're going to match this. And they matched her, and she stayed at Wells Fargo. And when I take a look at this situation, a lot of it does add up. If you were this disgruntled with this team, if you were this upset with this team, why did it take almost a month later to hear about this news? Why didn't somebody report this? Why didn't you tell somebody this at some point in time? And on top of that, why is there no anger or anything like that towards the team? This to me is a power move to say, Ravens, I want to put the non-exclusive tag on me to play hardball with me. Let me put this out on the eve of the NFL owners and GMs meeting or whatever meeting they were having and putting it on you to say, yes, I did this. Now what you going to do? After thinking about that, I'm not upset. I would not be surprised if a deal is done and he ends up staying with the Baltimore Ravens because I don't have the emotional attachment to thinking, oh my God, he don't care, they don't like each other, blase, blase. You can't give me a shred of a report or shred of evidence from anyone anywhere that says that's the case. And at the end of the day, what he said was not unprofessional. It wasn't done with any malice or intent. He basically was saying, right now, they're not giving me what I want, so I'm going to go somewhere and seek elsewhere. And we've seen this happen in all throughout sports in the times past where guys have threatened their teams that they're on to move. Because at the end of the day, he has to sign it if he wants any chance of playing this year, because if he doesn't, he'll have to hold out or whatever. He can't do it. But if we're not going to trade you and you don't want to sign, you are also out of blessing. So this is basically saying you are saying, well, I know my options are a little limited, so let me show you what this is. Because at the end of the day, anyone that knows Lamar, he's not the type of person that's going to just blatantly blast any team or anything like that. That's not in his makeup. And number two, I don't believe any reports that people say about how he hates the team, how he wants to do this and this and this, because his best friends on the team that he spends every summer with, every offseason with, Marlon Humphrey, Ronnie Stanley, and Mark Andrews, literally don't have any opinion, have no idea what any of these people are talking about. So I'm going to believe you over them, and they talk to him every day in the day-to-day operations? Not at all. Philly Jim, I knew he feels like that and everything, but at the end of the day, bro, that's if you understand contract negotiations, 101, and Omarosa of all people, from Mother Creek, she went on and she said, number one,
is that who his is?
Everybody knows Omarosa, famous apprentice homegirl. She came out with a book about how to negotiate. She said, number one, always reject the first offer, because no company is going to pay you top dollar. They're going to give you the bottom dollar when they're doing their first negotiation.
That's true.
Which that contract extension was. So that's not disrespect. That's just standard operations too. No brand, nobody wants to pay you more money than they feel like they can, but that's how you buckle down and say, no, I want this. And then you come back at another offer, and then you work it out this way. And I'll end it with this. I can let y'all go. I seen it again with my old colleague who was going to become an investment banker. He forced the same hand of Wells Fargo, got a job at Chase, and they ended up matching his salary that he was going, which was about $5,000 more than the max that they were offering. But he had the resume and he had the backup from Chase to do it. So I think this is a real good power move. We're seeing how negotiations work, and I think Lamar's going to end up staying with Baltimore.
Okay, yeah, very awesome commentary on that one. And you know what? It very well could be a play. It could be applied. We've seen, this is the first time that we've seen a player in some form threaten to leave as leverage to getting a new deal. So that always is going to be, it should be in the back of people's minds. You know, I think right now it's just more shock value, you know, like, oh my God, because people 2 seasons ago, people never would have thought like, oh man, the Ravens would ever get rid of Lamar, right? So whenever this comes out, of course, it's a typical knee-jerk reaction and whatnot. But, you know, let's bring it over to Dom and your thoughts on the whole.
Dom, our resident Lamar lover. Come on.
Yeah. Your thoughts on this whole situation, man.
Dom, our resident sub.
First of all, let me remind y'all that even prior to this man's NFL career, when he was at Louisville, I was like, this is not a smart kid. And as far as this whole requesting a trade being a power move, no. Right now, today, or was it today or yesterday he came out with the trade request? Yesterday, day before? Someone remind me.
That was like earlier this week, like a couple days. It was the same day.
Okay, well, check it out.
It was the same day as the NFL owners meeting. I think it was Tuesday.
Okay, so check it out. Right now, he came out with the trade request. This is the closest Lamar and the to being throughout this whole process. Because guess what? You know what that non-exclusive franchise tag meant? They said, go ahead. Try to get a better deal somewhere else. We hope you do, and we'll just take the draft picks. And it hasn't happened. Then he comes out like, oh, I want to trade. Well, cool. We were ready to trade you the whole time because we're not giving you that money. And guess what? Neither is anyone else. The Lions came out. They're like, no, we're not interested. Colts are like, we've had no contact. Patriots are like, no, we're not doing it either.
Actually,
I don't fault him.
The reports are saying the Colts are interested. We're one of the few teams that were interested. And again, they also reported out because a lot of teams feel like the Ravens want to sign him. So they feel like they don't want to make a move for him because they'll be doing all the work for
That's
Baltimore.
the thing. And all I think I think Lamar wants to stay. They're not going through this nonsense. Like that's why the Ravens are the Ravens and the Browns and the Cardinals are the Browns and the Cardinals. He tried to leverage that Deshaun Watson deal to try to get money, and it's like, no, dude, that's the Browns. We don't do that. Ravens are probably the second best run organization in the NFL besides Pittsburgh.
I mean, to be honest with you, the
Just
Ravens almost
get an agent and
the Ravens almost lost
that.
The Ravens almost lost their best player in its existence who wanted to trade. He threatened to trade too. Ray Lewis did the same thing, and boom, he stayed. Yeah. That was the best player in existence, and he stayed.
Ray
Ray
Lewis asking for a per year contract and all of it guaranteed when he's missed 10 games in 2 years. And he knows that he's got a shorter shelf life.
But nobody,
as do the Ravens.
Lamar's camp has said that guaranteed contract talk is not true. But if you believe it, that's your own personal opinion. But if you go from the horse's mouth,
well, maybe if he had an agent, there wouldn't be questions. Because all I hear about is his mom, and then this random guy, and then here comes this memo talking about no one can talk to him. He can't negotiate contracts, and if we find out you did talk to him, we're fining you. Just get an agent, Lamar.
And the dude also came out and said he never did any of this stuff. That was just a made-up quote from the NFL.
Hey, we got Jacob waiting in the wings to comment on this whole thing. Jacob, your thoughts on the whole Lamar Jackson trade request?
And you made a good point there, Dom. It is basically, if you give him the full money, that every other team, most of the other players in the league won't get themselves an agent if he succeeds on this. That's just the main thing with this. But really, overall, him saying, "Oh, I never wanted," that's BS. I never wanted.
That's your opinion. Keep it in your opinion.
He turned down a more than fair deal.
Yeah, but it's like
you can't. How many times have you not seen the Manti Te'o story when how much people draw these conclusions about something? They come to find they don't know. We don't know. That's our opinion.
But the thing is, you're right. They'll bring that thing up. But here, the biggest thing about it is the fact it's obvious the story does change when you're not getting what you want. It happens on media, on everywhere. All of a sudden, the story does change. Because would that have changed if he would have come close in negotiations? That's the only thing. And will he stay in Baltimore? Yeah, probably. The thing is, they said a more than a fair deal. The main thing they're saying now is that he wants to be able to have more guaranteed than Deshaun Watson, which, it's like I don't know.
You can't leverage a Browns contract to the Ravens.
I know, and it's like, see, the issue I have with the whole Deshaun Watson contract is how
long an agent could tell you that.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry,
and it's like, no, the biggest thing I'm saying with it is the fact that how long before that obnoxious lawyer comes back out of the thing and then they try to suspend him again? Mm-hmm. How long before that? And these are the things that go with, and it's like, and then that contract just looks miserable. It already looks miserable anyway. So with that, why are you leveraging a contract of somebody who may or may not be around?
Allegedly leveraging that contract again. Okay. He said no. We're correlating what we believe.
You're kind of a Ravens fan, and you're agreeing that you're right. There's a Manti Te'o, but it could. At the same time, we never heard this before. There was about 6 teams that said no. Now all of a sudden, that's all I was saying.
But thing is, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to. If the horse's mouth says it's not true at this moment, I can draw anything in my face. But at the end of the day, you always got to take things for face value or so. And it's not being a Ravens fan. It's just I've seen it. And then after learning through stuff like Manti Te'o, because again, how many of us were wrong about that? Everything was wrong. Everything was put out as he was doing this, he was doing this. And we all have said plenty of times over the years, The media, they want you to believe something, they'll spin it to make you believe it.
Oh my
And
God! How many times do I go after the media? But that's my point.
But I think this is what Richmond Webb said when we had interviewed him. All this information and leaves our minds to think whatever we want.
But the thing is, it came out when about six. All of a sudden, and him saying that came out when about 6 teams didn't want him. That's when it looked weird. That's when it looked weird, is when the 6 teams didn't want him in the first place. But again, is he going to? But again, to me, this whole story is basically the fact that they want. This is a fight between not wanting to use an agent and the agents that know if he gets this, they are screwed. If they get it with the mom and like some guy they got from a rental place at an office depot.
Isn't Rashawn Gary his own agent when he came into the league for Green Bay?
When was that?
That he came to the league like 2 years ago or so like that. He's his own agent. He owned his own. He opened his own.
Yeah, but there's not. I don't. But here's the thing, though. There's no comparison between this megastar like Lamar Jackson and that. There isn't. If a megastar gets that thing without an agent, gets that kind of money, the agents, the only kind of clients the agents are going to get are like Mike Glennon.
So, but I will say this. I know, Jay, you got to jump in on this one as well. But and Tyler, shout out to you in Florida. Florida brothers think different from most people. I'll be very honest with you. Mm-hmm. They are
1,000%.
They are so different. Yep. And so one thing about them, especially the brothers, is loyalty, family, everything. So they keep it tight. They don't bring nobody in their new circle. And so with Lamar not having an agent and stuff and actually witnessing the people I know from Florida, I can kind of buy it because they different. They are different down there. Like
it could very well be his roots, you know.
Well, let me ask this question to you. If it isn't,
he's 2 steps away from Le'Veon Bell.
Right, that's about right. But it's like, but I'm just going to say this though. Why, by itself, if he's a megastar and they think differently and he wants to keep it in his circle, and didn't want to just like a regular everyday agent. Here's my question: why not LeBron's crew?
I don't think that, but they're not close like that.
But maybe not. But I'm saying though, I'm talking about megastar to megastar is what I'm saying. Maybe they can get close, whatever. Just like why not? Either way.
But that's the thing. Those Florida boys are close knit. He's not going to really branch off and stuff like that. He's still banging with Kodak Black, and people have been telling him to get rid of it. But that's his best friend from high school and from in the trenches. They believe in the trenches as that if you in the trenches, and
another clearly highly intelligent person.
The only difference is I feel like the person that, and as you bring it up, I'll correlate to is he doesn't have somebody in this crew that is a sports agent, much like the other megastar that was in Washington, John Wall, who we did, because John Wall came up with 5 of his best friends. One of his friends was a sport agent, and coincidentally, I used to work with him at Wells Fargo because he was an investment banker. That's an agent for him, part of his crew. They grew up together. Lamar doesn't have that in his crew right now, and they're not too open to letting somebody else get in there because for them, it's like if I let you in and I'm vulnerable to you, don't cross me, don't mess me up.
Right.
So rather than do that.
But the only reason I was bringing that up, JJ, and I'm just saying this. Only reason I'm bringing that up is just because if there's anything at all, I was from the get-go. I've been with this thing for 3 years. He's been around, 5 now, Lamar? Mm-hmm. From the get-go with Lamar, I've always been on I have always been on Lamar's side.
In your opinion. Quotations.
Yeah, but I was saying, I've always been on Lamar's side thinking that if he could just get somebody outside of Greg Roman and his Tecmo Super Bowl, the offensive coordinator, if he could get something like that, I have always believed in him. And it's and the thing is, I don't want to see him become another Le'Veon. I don't want to see this whole thing. That's the big deal. And I'm like, that's why I just brought up LeBron and his crew. It's like, I know what you're saying about Florida, but just get a megastar. Just get someone that can bail this out, because if this does not work out for him, this is a huge risk.
Don't Jay-Z have his own sports agent company?
Possibly. You can do that.
Jay-Z.
Yeah. Isn't Kevin Durant with it?
Yeah.
Braun was
Yes.
with it at one point in time. But hey, we do have to move on. We have 2 more topics to get to. So we are covering.
Sorry we flooded it so we didn't get a chance to get your opinion. I'm sorry.
No. Mine was there. Whenever I lead off the topic and I pass it, I always give mine first.
He just likes listening to us.
But no, we'll have to get on to the 2023 NFL owners meeting, which happened recently. A few takeaways from the owners meeting. So I'm just going to list everything and then go around the horn, and you all just going to give your thoughts on it. So a few takeaways from there. OBJ talked to several teams about a deal. Apparently, the Jets and the Chiefs are said to be front runners. 49ers general manager John Lynch finally came out and stated that quarterback Trey Lynch could be on the trading block. This is probably not really news, but the Aaron Rodgers trade is imminent. And also, let's see, flexing Thursday night football. They're looking to move late season games from Sunday to Thursday. And then also the Philadelphia Eagles, they proposed a 4th and 20 alternative to the onside kick, which is something that they got from the XFL because they have a 4th and 25.
What?
But yeah, around the horn. To me, I'd say about 2 or 3 of these are pretty much like we knew this is not really late breaking news or anything. Trey Lance being on a trading block, we talked about during Purdy's hot streak last season. OBJ, we know he's going to sign. It's just a matter of where. The Chiefs, I think he'd be solid on there. The Jets, I think that's probably going to be hinged upon when they land Rodgers. And even then, it'd be anybody's guess how Rodgers is going to be once he gets there. The Thursday night football thing, and I know, and shout out Philly Jim, he had his own thoughts about this one, but they want to. It's like they're changing. If they're not changing like platforms like Fox or CBS or Amazon or whatever, it's like it's nothing really constant with Thursday night football. It's been like this for like years. But just want to go around the horn real quick. Dom, just give you quick thoughts about the NFL owner meetings. Anything you want to harp on?
I like OBJ to the Chiefs or the Jets. Yeah, he's just waiting to see where he can sign. Either one makes sense. They could both use him. I don't know. I mean, before you can do anything, it's funny because technically, officially, Aaron Rodgers is still a Green Bay Packer, but the Jets are already counting to him just badly. I don't know. We'll see how that works. The 4th and 20 thing, I don't know. Like it seems kind of gimmicky. I don't know if be taking any key. I do have a few things. They changed years ago on kickoffs and onside kicks to where you can't run up. And I mean, so very few onside kicks successful anyways, but trying to change something like that, like I will do it. What other thing, or maybe the second thing, and I forgot because I did want to say
Trey
something
Lance
about it.
Trey Lance.
Oh yeah. The Niners signed Sam Darnold, right?
Did they?
Correct.
I don't know.
Yeah, they got
I
Darnold.
think so.
They got Darnold.
They did. We don't know when Purdy's coming back exactly. Trey Lance on not surprised. I was bummed because he got hurt so early on in the year last year. Like we don't even really know who he is. But yeah, outside of that, owners meetings. I don't. There's nothing bettering here. The Lions proposed a bunch of rule change, all got shot down. So, yeah. Go ahead, JJ.
Yeah, JJ, on you, man.
The 4th and 20 thing seems like another step in trying to make kickers obsolete type situation because that's been a big deal for the league. A lot of people, you hear it all the time. I agree with Dom. It's a little gimmicky. I don't mind the offensive side, offside kick, onside kick, whatever. That 4th and 20 is just like, I get the idea of it because it's basically saying, okay, you're going to have to get this or whatever. But that then would leave you to leave the judgment of the refs for possible penalties. And we already know how disappointing and how angry angry our people in NFL, our fans are in terms of their rules. I'm like Dom, the Trey Lance situation. I think you got
There's your new quarterback, JJ.
I think no, I don't. I think our quarterback is still with us. I think
you can have Fields.
I think if I wouldn't mind Fields either, but I wouldn't find Fields either. But
Here, give us Lamar.
I wouldn't mind Fields, but I don't think because number one, it's cold in Baltimore, but it's really cold in Chicago, and that ain't going to work for the Lamar. But I will say this though. I do think if you draft him, you got to give him a chance. This is his last time for you. Personally, it's amazing how fast we're really quick to give up on guys, because before 20 years ago, we wouldn't even be talking about this guy until year 4 at the earliest, possibly, because these guys had to go behind these other ones to develop. But I think if you're going to still give him, you got to give him one more chance, because if you don't know when Brock's coming in, and you know that he's going to be at such a timetable, knowing what we see from Sam Darnold, I think I would go with Trey over Sam Darnold. I think I would, just because
you know who Darnold is.
You know what you got with Trey, but you
know who Darnold is.
What Sam Darnold has. And I used to be a Darnold person. Remember, I thought Carolina was going to do good with him, and then it just went downhill.
This is why I say, I've said this before, sometimes it's best to go with the devil you don't know than the devil you know.
True. The devil, and it's like, at the end of the day, Kyle, he got hurt. It's unfortunate, but much like Justin Fields was at first in the beginning of the year, he was looking like, I don't know. Like, he was my favorite person to take unders for sports bets. But as the year went on and they started adapting their offense to his skill set, he started to improve, which I know for a fact Kyle Shanahan is a master at. He adapts his team to his players' skill sets. And I would like to see, if you drafted him, give him a chance. You see what happened with Jalen Hurts being adapted to his skill set. You've seen what happened with Lamar adapt to his skill set. You've even seen how people like Jordan Love has came in and looked good with the team adapting to his skill set. I think San Francisco has a good enough team and great enough skill position players to give Trey Lance a chance to just to see what he can do. See if he can make plays on the run with his legs. They got an offensive line, so he's going to be protected.
Absolutely. And so finally, Jacob, your quick thoughts on NFL owners meetings. Anything you want to point out and harp on?
Well, you're talking to me, so I don't know how quick it is. But no, the biggest thing, first off, you know why 4th and 20 is existing and this idea is existing? It's because Justin Fields is in the league. It's he's in the league. It's like the last 5 years, there's been different quarterbacks, including the last. What's up?
Before you continue, I find it ironic that the Philadelphia Eagles, of all teams, proposed this, and one of their signature plays in team history is the famous 4th and 26. Continue, right. Jacob.
No, but here's what I was saying: the last 2 Bears quarterbacks, the ones that had, that were athletic. Last 2 Bears quarterbacks have nailed multiple 4th and 20s, more 4th and 16, 4th and 17, whatever. That it's like just that way athletic. They have. This is the point I'm saying, though. This is why they're considering that. Because guess what? Justin Fields can nail a 4th and 20 just with his legs. But Patrick Mahomes can nail 4th and 20. So can Lamar Jackson. They're doing this because it's a show they're still trying to put on, and they know that there are quarterbacks in the league that can nail it. And it's like to be able to do that. Now, as far as OBJ.
Plus, they're trying to eliminate
the kicker.
Any special cases they.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, just special teams plays because it's so violent. Guys get hurt.
Yeah, I know exactly. And then as far as OBJ, it really depends if it sounds good because of the rings in Kansas City, okay? At first. It is grass is greener on the other side kind of situation with him. But the biggest issue is he is somebody that likes his targets. And there might be moments where Andy Reid goes to the 3rd stringer for an hour, for 3 hours a game. You know what I mean? The 3rd stringer might have the 7 catches for 102 yards. You try, then somebody with a really bad record in fantasy goes to get that guy next week. He has 1 catch for 3 yards. That's because that's what Andy Reid does. So yeah, we
That's
can't tell.
that's Marcus Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah, pretty much, yes. Then the Jets are the Jets. He would just go back to New York. That's the main thing. But at the same time, everybody's thinking of going there because they might get Aaron Rodgers. But at the same time, I don't know. I still do not know how much Aaron Rodgers wants to play. Period. Got to remember, he's gotten on a couple of the shows. He's gotten on Jeopardy. He's gotten on these things. All of this is money. He holds people back. He doesn't even like to go to the track. I don't care if he wants to do his 16 games. He's 39 years old. He's got a Hollywood career coming in some way.
Absolutely.
I have no clue how much he wants to actually play left. And that's the whole point. So even if he goes to the Jets, hold on, quick. Even if he goes to the Jets, how focused will he be? Go ahead.
Yeah, no. I was going to add on to your point. People talk about him being a drama queen and all of that for like the last 4 or 5 years. Everyone, this is his official Hollywood edition. The man is going to go into film when he retires from football. He's going to go into film. Like, I can just foresee it. He's not going to stick around the game of football. He's not going to be an OC. He damn sure is not going to be a head coach. He ain't going to do all that. He is going to go into acting like Jim Brown went into acting. The only difference is he's not going into blaxploitation film. But
imagine him in blaxploitation.
I want to say this. One thing we
how
know about,
dare you put Jim Brown and Aaron Rodgers in the same
One thing we know about
sentence?
Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers loves playing with the media. Number one. So all of this is fun to him. He thinks he's the smartest person in the room. So I think he loves this stuff, which is the reason why I think he's going to go to New York, because I think he sees the idea to know that New York is this big, bad bully of media that just destroys guys, pulverizes them. I could see him starting to do this, be like, playing around with them, like
handle the Green Bay media.
He handled Green Bay media. He handles all the media.
Do him up and sit him out.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
bro?
but then
we know you don't care about winning another ring. You got your money.
You know what?
Just retire.
And you know what? And Aaron Rodgers would say, "I'm the best quarterback out of both your New York teams in the last 30 years."
Is not somebody that got chewed up by Green Bay media. He did not face. He's not losing any sleep.
He ain't losing no sleep behind no media.
Aaron Rodgers handles the media very well, as you know about the COVID
soft
situation.
And they love him.
He's not soft. He's your daddy, but he's not a person about the media. He's
real quick. We got about 3 minutes left. We do have to move on to our non-sports topic real quick, and that is non-sports topic. And if you all have me on TikTok, you've seen me propose this.
I already said so.
But those, and I know you did and everything. But our non-sports topic is chivalry dead? And if it is, who killed it? Lazy men or ungrateful women? Dom, kick us off real quick. I think he froze on us.
No.
Because he's trying to get a date.
Dom, can you hear me?
Unmute yourself.
He's on eHarmony right now.
Tinder.
Okay, while he's fixing that up, JJ, go ahead, man.
No, I don't think it's dead. I just think people don't care about traditional values anymore, period. I think today's world is into being open and polyamorous and things like that, and individuality and, women. I don't think it's anything of lazy men or ungrateful women, because those people have been around for ages. That never changed. It doesn't like they all of a sudden just became lazy and ungrateful. It's just people's values have changed. And if you honestly want to see it, look at relationships, period. Chivalry is still around because people still walk their dogs. People open doors for people. People still, set the table for their loved ones or clean up and things like that for women, do those chivalristic things. But it's not dead. It's just in the minority. Like, you ask somebody if they want to be in a relationship, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be like, you don't have to hold the door for me. I'm good because I'm out here doing my dang thing. Traditional values are dead. That's why I've always said for years, if you believe in monogamy, you are in the 1 percentile.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Dom, real quick, your thoughts on this?
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
He's cussing behind the silence.
I know, right? Jacob, just go real quick, man.
All right. Chivalry isn't dead. I should know because I do the thing. And anybody that ever wants to say, you don't have to do that for me, I'm like, I don't give a flying beep. I have the thing. They give enough. This is the thing. When people say it's dead, because there's a majority of men that will step on eggshells around, the overpowered, the empowered one, all that kind of stuff. I have the highest respect for the empowered woman, but I'm also powered too. They know it fast. When they meet me, they know it fast. And the biggest thing is really, yep, damn straight. And then it's like real, and that's the big thing about it is the fact that's the one thing you notice really, really quickly from the empowered woman is they like a legitimate empowered man. And when the men are stepping on eggshells and what could I do next? And they lose their nuts and they lose all that stuff, then that's why. But truthfully, it is lazy men. It's absolutely because I'm not going to say there are ungrateful women, but I can tell you this right now: if you as a man's got some power, the powerful woman will respect the hell out of it and love it.
25 to 30, 35 to 45, maybe lazy men, but 25 and below, I think the women, the way I've seen on Twitter.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I mean, but a lot of those 25 to 35 think they want to get Megan Thee Stallion. That's what they're looking at in the first place.
Dom, real quick, we got like 2 minutes.
Whoever put that comment up most recently that said not dead but dying, for at least 10 years I've been saying chivalry is not dead but it's on life support. Like every time I open a door for a woman and they look at me not crazy but like they're shocked that I opened the door, and I'm like, chivalry is not dead but it's on life support. I can't blame lazy men or ungrateful women because it's a combination thereof. Situations are different. I feel like it's both. Like the ungrateful women made the men lazy, or they're just like, okay, because
I get it.
Chivalry at this point in time is rare.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a chivalrous man, most women don't respect it. Not necessarily their fault, because some of them have no idea what it's like to have a guy treat them like a man used to in years past, walking closest to the street. So if a car comes up on the sidewalk, the man gets hit instead of the woman, or if a puddle splashes, he gets hit. But it's just, things are so much different when it comes to man and woman relationships, and mostly not in a good way. Like things have gone downhill as far as relationships go.
Well, that's men. But I'm just going to say this real fast. That's men. It's like by itself. Like I said, I do have experience with this thing. I've seen this. It's like I've been around strong women. I have been pretty much all my life, and one of my friends is absolutely a strong woman, and there's nothing but the biggest respect. I flat out say quick. They all find out very, very quickly. I am not going to be stepped on, and I am not going to be stepped. They find out so fast. Then there's a respect. That's the big thing. Is they are so used to. A lot of them are mad because the men became wimps. A lot of the men have become wimps, and then they get mad at that. Then even if they do take one of the wimpy men, then they run the show. Then they get pissed off at that. So there's those situations. It's like I can tell you this right now. Strong women want strong men, and I've always said strong men plus strong women equals strong kids, badass kids. I have always said this, and it's like I don't know why we had to make men weak to make women stronger, or vice versa. I don't know why that had to be. Both of them being strong is an unstoppable force.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And with that said, we have come to the end of the show. Thanks to everybody who's in the comments. Shout out to Philly Jim. Jake, thanks a lot for taking us on, dude. I know it's about last minute. JJ, he made it in time. He made it in time with his ketchup on his cheesesteak. And Dom, he was here since the beginning with his tequila. Now, let's get on to some drinks, except Jacob, who's probably going to eat an apple. So for Detroit Dom, Mr. Joseph, and the pundit's funny himself, I'm Denzel Snipes, and we will see you in 7. Peace.
Yep. Good night, Canada.
Bingo. Oh,